Strait of Hormuz, which basically one of the main reasons for the MOU, for the ceasefire, and maybe would be the main reason in the future to the for the United States to get back to the war. And what is your understanding of the situation in the Strait of Hormuz?
There is a difference between the Iranians' view and the Americans' view. For the Americans, the Strait of Hormuz is the key, an issue that did not exist before the war, and Iran used skillfully by imposing it on the world because the whole world is suffering from it. The increase of the price of oil affect everybody on planet Earth. And now the Americans, after they have failed along with the Israelis to achieve their objectives, the only demand they are asking today is the Strait of Hormuz. For Iran, this is actually not the priority. It's a leverage. For Iran, as stated in paragraph 5 of the MOU that Donald Trump signed in Farsi and in English, so he was very well aware what he was signing and agreeing on, that it is Iran that run the Strait of Hormuz. However, for Iran, it is not a cherry picking. It is not a la carte. You go to a restaurant and you say, well, I have the choice to have this meal, not that one. It is starting with a paragraph 1, ending the war on all fronts, including Lebanon. This is where the Americans have failed, and they went immediately to lift the blockade on the Strait of Hormuz and asking Iran to sort out the Strait of Hormuz because it falls in the interest of the Americans. Now, people can argue that Iran is selling 50 million, or by today, is maybe 55 million barrels of oil. Nevertheless, Iran used to sell hundreds of millions of barrels with its known shadow fleet, and that was not a problem for the Iranians. And selling the oil falls into Donald Trump's objectives to bring down the price of the barrel of oil. Therefore, from the Iranian point of view, Iran is not really making any gain on reopening the Strait of Hormuz as Donald Trump wants, and in a way that it suits Donald Trump's objectives. Iran wants the release of all its asset, its own money that is frozen in several countries, and wants the end of the entire sanctions, and wants to be compensated. But above all, and is ready to blow up everything if the war in Lebanon doesn't stop and the Israelis do not withdraw within 60 days of the MOU, then everything, we are back to square one. What the Americans are trying to do in the Strait of Hormuz, they tried to enlarge the part that is in Hormuz on the southern side, that is on the Omani waters, by saying, well, now we have an area of 3.5 miles free and demined completely, when the MOU states that it is up to Iran to organize it. It says very clearly that by signing the MOU, the termination of all military operation, including Lebanon, but also that that goes to paragraph 5 in relation to the Strait of Hormuz, and saying Iran will make the arrangement using its best effort. It doesn't say Oman, or it doesn't say the United States and CENTCOM. So it is up to Iran to organize the passage, and it will not ask for fees, for transit fees for 60 days or any other fees. But after 60 days, and during these 60 days, Iran will continue talking to Oman to make sure that they both are on the same platform, they standing on the same ground, they speak the same language. So Oman said, no fees, I will not ask for fees, because Oman signed the 1982 UNCLOS and ratify it. Iran did not ratify it, although it has signed the UNCLOS in 1982. However, Iran is saying, I will not ask for transit fees, but I will ask for services fee. And that is included in the international law. And my last point here, it's very interesting to hear the Americans flagging international law in the face of Iran when they have conducted an unlawful war on Iran without being sanctioned by the United Nations and without being provoked by Iran. And now they want Iran to apply international law on the Strait of Hormuz, that the issue did not exist prior to this war.